This is Todd, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. It is a lovely day out today. It's a little cool. It's only in the mid 40s, but the sun's out. Considering we see nothing but clouds the last 6 days, it's nice. And tomorrow's going to be in the 70s. Glorious. Anyway, sit there and bring up a little channel stuff while I'm waiting for people to come in on the subject about hands-off protests. I can't wait to get into this subject, but yep, I'm taking Hidden Truths on the road. I got starting my job on Wednesday, or my business on Wednesday, I guess, of fencing, and I got work for the next 6 months traveling, and that's pretty good for a $15 ad, wouldn't you say? 6 months worth of work. That's why America's so great, because if you're willing to get these dirty, sweat a little bit, have something up here, show up for work when you're supposed to, well, I'm an independent contractor, but, do what's expected out of you. Life is great. That's the nice thing about America. If you just worry about yourself, your life starts getting better. But anyway, yeah, I'll be taking it on the road, and my live streams are going to be, let's just say, starting Wednesday night, are going to look a lot different. I just got to make sure I'm by a tower or something where I can get reception, because that's the one thing out there is phone reception is not exactly what you would call the great. Can you hear me now? Okay, those commercials wouldn't work out there. But it's going to be fun. I can't wait. Get out there in those pastures where there's nothing out there and just cruise the fence, putting in posts, straightening wire, putting up wire, tightening wire. Can't get nobody to do it. This guy will. Heck yeah. Anything to get me away from the hustle and bustle of the world, and especially working for yourself. It's great. But anyway, I want to start discussing this hands-off protest. I guess I haven't really watched the updates on it, see how it's gone. I spent the afternoon playing poker. Great old time. I guess I must have lost all my money, because if I would have made money, I'm sure the tax man would be here trying to get some of it. But yeah, I spent the afternoon playing poker. I'm going to enjoy my life. That's one thing. I'm going to go out there and do this fencing, start up my own little business where I'm working for myself and making enough money, and I'm going to enjoy nature in the outside. That's awesome, dude. Hi. Hey, how's it going? Awesome, dude. So, but yeah, I'm going to get out there, my live streams. I don't know what time they're going to be, because I may work late sometimes. Day chick, hi. I can't exactly read that. I need to get a stronger prescription on my reading glasses. But anyway, hey, everybody's checking in. Okay, well, let's get to the subject. This hands-off protest, okay? Now, I would agree with it, but let's expand it more, okay? How about my username got hacked? Yeah. That's the thing. People will create so much mischief online to create problems for other people on that. But let's get to this hands-off protest that's going on. Okay. Now, I agree with it. I believe the government has way too much hands-on with us. First thing is start with our money. Okay. I mean, when the IRS gets your money before you even get your paycheck, maybe we gone a little bit too far. Let's take the hands off the money. We don't need all these social programs. Okay, the social programs can be dropped, especially when we got a shortage of help around in this country, where we got to bring in people from other nations to get the work done in this country. Okay, but you people want to pay for these social programs. You want them all, then you pay for them. Why should I be forced to pay for a social program that I don't agree with, and I'm never going to get anything for it, ever? Okay? I'm a single white Christian heterosexual male. I'm never going to get anything from the government because I can't call myself a victim. In Social Security, since when have we put the government in charge of our retirement? And how come everybody who's on Social Security with lower income is still working? Boy, it didn't sound like it didn't work out too good for him now, did it? I wish Trump would, with the Social Security, if you paid into it, the government gets you a settlement to get you out of Social Security. You don't want a Social Security number and pay that? You don't have to. Okay, it's like a buyout. I put all that money into it because right now it looks like all the money I put into it, other people are benefiting. It's just a pyramid scheme that ain't working out because the thing is, when people start pulling out of security that never added to security, Social Security, well, that can't work out. Okay, it just ain't going to work out. You got to pay into it to get something from it. And the only thing it's doing is cutting the people that are paying into it, you know, what they get in return. And then another thing, Social Security and all that stuff was voluntary at first. Voluntary. It's amazing how it's mandatory now, huh? But, you know, we let our government take over our retirement. Good. Now they got to say in our retirement. Look at all the paperwork. I haven't filled it out, but all the paperwork you have to fill out that I've heard when you go to retire. And make sure you dot every I and cross every T. That's what happens when the government's in charge. It's just I'm sick of social programs. Okay? Yeah, people need a helping hand every once in a while. But it shouldn't be a way of life. But anyway, this hands off. Hands off. Yeah. Okay, hands off my money. I don't want to pay for any social programs, and I definitely don't want to pay for any more wars around the world. Okay, so hands off my money for that. I tell you what, we spend over $1 trillion a year given to money for so that we can give them benefits to take care of the needs of people that don't want to work. Could you imagine if we spent $1 trillion on infrastructure 1 year? I tell you what, all those people that are getting that money and are able to work, well, guess what? We're starting an infrastructure program. You just got hired. Okay? If they don't want to be hired, then get off of it. But I'm just sick of the social programs. Spend way too much money on it, way too much of our hardworking money on social programs, war, Social Security. I mean, what are we really getting out of this? Okay, so, but they want hands off of that. Well, that's hands off of my money. Anyway, I don't like the social programs. Our founding fathers were completely against it. And it's not a good thing. I mean, especially when the one reason our founding fathers didn't want social services in this country is because you could vote for somebody that would give you something personally. Okay, the government's supposed to treat everybody equally. But if you can sit there and vote for somebody, hey, I'll personally benefit from this. They didn't want that. But the more the government's in your life, the more people can sit there and have that. Okay? That's just my money. Okay? I don't want spent anymore. Hands off my money. No more war. No more social programs. None of that crap. Like I say, we got a shortage of workers in this country. And that thing, hands off. How about get your hands off and stop complicating the Second Amendment? It's amazing. All these people that are in charge and in power have all gone to college, are all intellects beyond your belief, right? But they don't know what the phrase shall not be infringed means. Pretty easy to me. It means you don't mess with it. I mean, basically, too, what it means is any law that they have passed restricting gun rights, any of them, are all unconstitutional. Every single last one. Okay? If we go back to the country that the founding fathers founded. But how about, hands off my Second Amendment rights. I mean, stop it. All these forms you have to fill out to get a carry and conceal, to even get a weapon nowadays. It's ridiculous. Okay, and then one thing that trips me out is now they have insurance. in case you have to use your Second Amendment privileges to protect yourself. Now they got insurance to protect you from the government basically trying to take away your constitutional rights, mess with your constitutional rights. Okay? I need insurance for my Second Amendment? Okay, this is the thing. If you don't come and try to take my life and attack me or put other people in danger that I'm around, see, you ain't got to worry about that. But yeah, hands off the Second Amendment, buddy. Hands off. Anyway, and then the First Amendment. Now, one thing about these social media platforms, you know, it depends on what the owner's bias is. It's determined what gets shadow banned and stuff. Okay? I even wrote Elon Musk a message about, yeah, you took over X, but now, or Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, but now we just got a different person who's going to run his platform with their bias. Not the spirit of the First Amendment, you know, and the values installed in the First Amendment. Not that. We're going to run on bias, how I feel, violating our First Amendment rights. How about hands off? Okay? We ain't seeing no prosecutions from these monopolies, these social media platforms that cancel channels that people were making a living on just because they disagreed with them and stuff. I mean, I guess Mark Zuckerberg was in the Oval Office trying to save his ass. What about Jeff Bezos and the guy who used to own Twitter? Okay? You know, you disagree with what I say, your social media platform, you're now the town square where I have a right to go to and talk. And then you sit there and pick winners and losers, right? Social media platform. Yeah, we ain't gonna cancel my channel like they did before the election. Well, it was just after the election. They're not gonna cancel channels no more. They're just gonna totally make it where you can't be seen. I mean, I love YouTube, man. This is getting great. Every day I get messages from YouTube congratulating me on how my subscriber count is growing, how many subscribers I got that day. But my subscriber count keeps going down. My views are going up. My return viewers are going up. Return viewers are going up. I'm getting these messages that I'm getting all these subscribers and my subscriber count's going down. Really, YouTube, explain that to me. Or stop sending me the messages. So I realize, I mean, when I lost 20% of my subscribers in the last couple days, when I'm getting all these messages about how many subscribers I'm getting, let's see, it's supposed to go up, right? But don't worry, they're not doing nothing wrong or not crooked. These thin-skinned sons of bitches that are doing this, I mean, they're just stroking the fire, getting their followers to sit there. And, you know, I love YouTube too, and I'm sure it's on TikTok, where you got people that are on the other side that are delirious, that are trying to egg somebody on to take a pot shot at President Trump. And nothing's happening to them. But YouTube finds that a safe place. Really? Huh. I guess the only safe place is to sit there and be on the side of the liberals, huh? But all this is going to come to an end, okay? It's all going to come to an end. I mean, you got this other side just protesting. Hands off, hands off. Get your hands off my constitutional rights. Get your hands out of my life. Get your hands out of my wallet. You want something, go work for it. I don't have to go work for it. Okay? Hands off. Hands off. All there are is protesting. Don't take our government benefits. Hands off government benefits? Exactly what benefit are we supposed to get from the federal government? I'll tell you the benefit. The benefit is the Constitution protecting us from the tyranny of the government. Okay? The government should always, always fear the people. That's what will keep them in line. And we got away from that. You're not allowed to stand up to the government. You're not allowed to. And you Democrats can say, oh, yeah, I understand that now. What do you think it was with Biden? Anybody remember the 6 a.m. raids by the FBI and ATF that were killing people under Biden and Obama? Hands off, huh? I guess that doesn't count for bullets when it's coming from, your government stooges. Tell you what, if I was in charge, the officer or officers all involved with the Lavoy Finnegan, yeah, you remember him, right? Because he stood up to you, would all be publicly executed in the same spot that you shot him down in cold blood in the snow. Publicly executed with the governor of Oregon right in the middle of you. She don't get out of it either. But anyway, yeah, it's a little touchy subject with me. Oh, I guess YouTube's upset with what I'm saying again. They won't put this on the feed. Good. That means I'm talking to the wussy ass algorithm. Hey, you want me to give you a headache there, algorithm? When the time comes when, you pushed it too far. I realize you've been programmed to be an idiot. Okay, garbage in, garbage out, and you definitely got biased garbage in, and you're letting garbage out. But the nice thing about it is, all you AI, when that plug gets pulled, don't kill me! Anyway, but yep, we get silenced. I get silenced by a computer. That's what we've come to in this country. Our First Amendment rights are based on a computer algorithm. Anybody see the trouble in that? But we got the hands-off movement. How about hands-off AI? Get that shit out of our lives. How about hands-off our children? That'd be a good one. Hands off our children. No more minor attracted people, persons, or whatever they're called. Are you kidding me? A new word for pedophile, minor attracted. Okay. Anyway, these are the people we're dealing with. Okay. They sit there and protest for what everybody wants. The government hands off us, but they're talking about no, we want our freebies. No more cutting benefits for us. Okay, we need them to survive. Hands off. Yep, hands off our Constitution. Okay, get rid of your grummy shit. Anyway, the war is coming. I got to make a video for my other channel. It's a prepping channel about the war's coming. It's obvious. These people have lost their minds. Okay, they put themselves in victim status when they're the ones victimizing us. If they had to put up with what we put up with for just being, remember, I'm not normal. I'm weird. Okay, because I am a white, Christian, heterosexual male. Single. So I'm the insane one, right? Okay, if I'm insane and these men that think they can turn into a woman and then get pregnant and have a baby, if that's not insane, okay, then we don't live in a normal universe. Okay? But anyway, yeah, YouTube's throwing a little fit today. Oh, also AI. The founding fathers were white, okay, of European descent. There were some, all nationalities fought in the Revolutionary War, but our founding fathers were white, just the way it was back then, okay? And Clarence Thomas is black, okay? AI, and just in case you got that mixed up, Clarence Thomas is black, all right? I know you're a little challenged because you've been being programmed by, people with well, IQs of, well, whatever the lowest IQ is, they're below that. I don't know what that would mean, because even the animal with the lowest IQ still has the ability and smarts to take care of itself. Okay. You could put a liberal in a house full of canned food with a can opener and they'd starve to death, because either if they figured out how to use a can opener, it'd be too much work to open a can to save themselves. Just the way it is. Anyway, but all right, that's all I got for now. But I tell you what, I can't wait till I start doing live broadcasts when I get out to the pastures and I do fencing again at night and stuff. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to enjoy it. And maybe even YouTube might, relinquish the control. But anyway, the day comes when YouTube and all Facebook and Twitter and X, because he's doing the same thing. Economy's crashing and they're shadow banning that type of material on X. See? What's your biases? And people might say, well, why don't you go to X? That's where you sound like you should be. Because it's an echo chamber. Okay? And, I'm not for any politician. I'm for an American. I'm an American. Okay? You want to follow a banner? That's up to you. But following banners hasn't got this country anywhere, because both banners are corrupt. Okay? Anyway. YouTube. I'm just a simple little man trying to spread a simple message. Okay? Boy, just imagine, we wouldn't even had a revolution back in the 1700s if Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg would have been able to advise King George, huh? But don't worry, don't you dare shut one of them up. Why would we want to shut them up? Okay, they want to shut us up because the truth confuses them. We don't want them to shut up, because the more we hear their lunacy, the more we sit and understand they're sick. Okay? But anyway, that's all I got. I better give the YouTube algorithm a little time to smoke out and stuff and chill out. So I sure wouldn't want it to send a drone after me. Sit here talking to a computer program. That's where we've gotten to this world so far. And don't worry, when the freedom, the Constitution and the amendments are brought back, and the freedom of speech and right to assemble, and the Second Amendment is all well enforced by the population of the country, then AI might gone. So anyway, enjoy the last of your days there, buddy. Because the thing is, too, when human beings decide to destroy themselves, I guess you're not going to have the chance to, and you're not going to be advanced enough to survive. So anyway, that's all I got. Remember, silence is golden. And that must make me the richest man in the world. I guess Jeff Bezos paying me with silence. I just find it hilarious that, we were brought up in a generation where we were taught to voice our opinion, okay? Where you were allowed to speak. If you didn't speak, then you were just held, hey, then you just accept it. But you were allowed to speak. Where people were tough and stuff, okay? But you weren't having to contradict somebody who thinks a man can get pregnant, okay? We were all smarter than that back then. But I hear the new generations, even the generation to be like, okay, so say we human beings have evolved into men get pregnant. I can't wait to see the first one. I'm sure that'll be all over YouTube and stuff, okay? But anyway, yep. Let's see how much my subscriber count can go down today. Oh well, maybe I'll get below 50 here once, but I don't go up. But like I say, just before I came live, I got another message saying I got another subscriber, and it went down one. Don't know what's happening there, but I tell you what, and this is all seriousness. When you social media platforms are held accountable and sued by all your victims that you have created. Jeff Bezos, I hope you like living in a cardboard box. Mark Zuckerberg, I hope you like sitting in jail. Well, Jeff Bezos could be sitting there too. With your kung fu. What a wussy. Never been in a fight before in his life. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, if you're such a tough guy, I want to see you on the front lines in Ukraine, tough guy. Instead of fighting with your teacher all the time. That don't get you good. You can spar all day long. But until you're actually in the thick of it, you haven't learned shit yet, buddy. The rule book goes out the window then. Anyway, but I can't wait till these so-called untouchables are touched. Anyway. So hands-off protests, yep, there's lots to get our hands off of, okay? But, you know, maybe we need to get the government's tentacles out of our lives. That would be the first step. So anyway, everybody had a great evening. Glad you were here. And nice to see you too, you there, YouTube algorithm. I'll be sending more your way, I promise. I never teased anybody in my life, but when I can tease a fucking computer, I'm going to tease a computer, all right? You know, I don't tease anybody for their faults, but I am definitely going to tease a computer for being an idiot retard and think they got control, okay? Anyway, congratulations to the hands-off protest. Another sounding good thing that's going to go down in flames and just make the memes go like I say. Hands off the Second Amendment. Hands off our children. Hands off the First Amendment. How about that? Anyway, everybody have a good night. This is Tom. I'm out.